So here is the current state of the garden. I'm actually inside the house right now, just behind the patio doors. It's quite windy outside, so I don't know if that would affect the sound, but I just wanted to show you a quick update on the garden. You can actually see the end of the garden now. So that white door on the top right, that's a small shed, that's the back of the garden. You can actually see the end of the garden now, which is great. We took down the rose arch. We've cut down a lot of the trees and plants that were growing on the sides. Just gonna have them taken away. The reason for taking it all down is because I am not a gardener. I'm not gonna have time to maintain this garden. Like, there was so much, but also as we were pulling things up, we did see that there was quite a lot of just quite dried and rotting plants back there. So actually there wasn't really a great deal I could do with it. And also there wasn't really anything back there that was edible. We did discover a apple tree just back there. There's a plum tree behind it as well, but they weren't like fantastic apples and plums. My mum did pick one plum and she's also picked a couple of apples. We're going to try and turn them into chutney. We're going to see if the plums are edible at all, but they didn't look like they would be, to be honest. They were just kind of shoved right at the back of the garden. There was so much other stuff going on around it that I don't think even the previous owners were maintaining that. But yeah, there was just so much dried plants and not really anything that I could have done with. So what I want to do is I'm going to keep these two raised beds here, and I think I'll plant like herbs and stuff like that there. The rest of the garden, I think this like squiggly grass area with the patchwork kind of stepping stones going through it, I'm going to keep that. The edges where we have the plants, honestly, I think I'm just going to lay down bricks or cement or something and just really section that area off. And my goal is actually to have pots like this. I would rather grow stuff in pots like this rather than having it coming out of the ground, because I think when it's coming out of the ground, it just needs so much more maintenance, because otherwise the roots will just go absolutely wild. But in pots like that, I can actually contain what it is, and that'll be a lot more manageable for me. I work full time. I honestly don't have time for the garden. It's just going to be too much hard work for me. But at the same time, it's quite lovely to have a garden that you can sit in and enjoy. And when people come round with their kids or whatever, they can play. And I just want it all to be nice and flat and not like have plants or like the rose arch had thorns all over it. So I don't want anything that could be dangerous. And this patio area here could be quite a nice spot to have some garden furniture and just kind of entertain outside and have like a little seating area for when I want to entertain outside. But you can see we've done a lot of work. A lot of it has come down. A lot of what you see just here, that is all stuff that we have pulled down and is ready to be taken away. I'm going to try and like just cut a lot of that into just really small pieces and see if they can go into the garden bin, which will then get taken away. That's paid until the end of the year, which is really handy. I'm going to need to get some hired help in to help dig up some of the tree stumps and really get things out from the roots. We did try and take on these raised beds just here. So we have emptied them of the plants that were there, but the roots and things like that are still in there. So all of that needs to come up. So, and there's a few trees and plants at the back there that we need to get rid of. The red one that you can see on the top left, I'm actually going to try and pull that out as safely as possible, because I know someone who wants to try and transfer that into their garden. I don't know if that's possible, but who knows. This shed I was planning on keeping, but actually there's quite a lot of gaps in the wood, the kind of the planks, so I don't think it's a very secure shed. So I might need to get rid of that. You can actually see one of the gaps just by the window right there. when it goes back into focus. So it's not the most stable or the best place that you would want to keep stuff in, because there is a lot of kind of open gaps where rain and things like that are going to be able to get through. These pots, I probably just empty those pots. I don't know what those plants are in them. There's a few labels I can see, but I can't read them from here. But I'll probably just empty those pots and have those like along the sides where I want to brick and cement it all up, and just kind of just have things that are a little bit more easier to maintain. I'll probably keep those two down there unless anyone wants them. But yeah, good progress so far. Just the fact that you can actually see the back of the garden is amazing. But yeah, that was about 3 or 4 hours of work today with about 4 of us here. But yeah, it's coming along slowly but surely. You can see like we've pulled some stuff up from the roots as much as we can. There's just a lot going on. That is the remains of the rose arch. And honestly, it was so hot, like old. We didn't even need to like unscrew the bolts. We were just able to like snap the arch. That's how old and rusty it was. Like we were just able to snap it all up by hand. Like that's crazy. No tools required. But yeah, it's coming along quite nicely. I also met some of my neighbours today, which was lovely. They all seemed really nice. One of them was really happy to see kind of all the plants here disappear, because it was kind of leaning onto the fence a little bit and damaging the fence. But obviously the previous owners were really keen on their gardening and just wouldn't kind of maintain the plants that were backing up onto the fence. But so anyway, the neighbours are really happy to see everything just kind of open up and be a bit more free and spacious, and not so much green kind of going over the fence and onto their gardens. So that's good news. I'm glad I've not upset anyone by taking the plants out. The previous owners will probably have something to say about that, but it did need to come up, because like I say, even if I was a keen gardener, a lot of it just wasn't, like they were drying up, like the soil is in quite bad condition. Some of the roots you can tell were starting to rot, and it needed to come up, I think. And I would rather have things that are edible. So like I say, I'm going to have herbs here. If I can grow things in pots, that's my preference, rather than just kind of exotic looking plants. But yeah, that's the progress so far, and I'm going to keep on going. We're going to try and get rid of all of this stuff here, which has been dug up. That's just stuff that we've put on the side. A lot of that over there we've also kind of just trimmed and just kind of left there. So really that red leaves and the spiky green stuff at the top with the yellow flowers, that needs to come out. So a lot of work was done. A lot of work has been done. Not too shabby for less than a day's work, because we arrived at 1 o'clock and we were gone by like 4:30. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's looking so far. And yeah, I will keep you guys updated, and more to follow soon, because I am going to keep a diary of everything that's going on with the house. Indoors hasn't changed since my empty house tour. Everything is still the same inside. I've not yet started work yet. I just wanted to get the garden cleared out first. Yeah, and then yeah, I'll keep you posted on how things progress. If you want to keep up with my updates, make sure you subscribe, comment, like, all that fun stuff. Leave your comments below if you have any ideas on what I can do. Yeah, because this is my first time doing this, so it's always helpful to have people's opinions. And until next time, I will see you soon, guys. Take care. Bye.